This is what happens when I start playing with filters and I think, oh, I'm just gonna go live on Facebook because I haven't done this in a little bit. It's time to play. So tell me, do you like my ears? It's kind of fun. Oh, your timing, buddy, is like impeccable. Maybe I should try another filter. What do you think? I just thought it was so fun. That noise is Buddy drinking water. He was snoozing like a bruising in the bedroom just a minute ago. And then decided, as soon as I hit play, I'm gonna go get me some drinky drink. So what do you think of my fun filters? Let's play with some more. I like this one a lot, actually. Now, if we could get rid of the ears, it might be better. Having a good hair dye. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing tonight? Ooh, that's not so appealing. How do I go back to that? Like, there should be a fallback. Let's see what else we got. Oh, there we go, darling. There we go, darling. Sparkles all around. This is what we do in the nighttime. We play with our filters and see how we could look. You know, there was a time back in the day when you used to be able to go into computer stores. Do you remember when they used to have internet shops and it was some ridiculous amount of money for like a minute? But anyway, there was technology that could make, you know, you could see what you'd look like with certain hairstyles and all that. And we thought that was the coolest thing back in the day. Now look at us. We got filters that do it for us. Everything is already taken care of for us. Ooh, 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 here we go. I'm a fairy, darling. Welcome to my realm. Okay, it's gotta be a catfish of some nature. Oh no, sparkles. Sparkles are fun. Hi, Marina. Hello, beautiful friends and family. Oh, this will be funny. I can't. I just can't. Sorry. Oh, no, this is where we're going tonight. So I thought I'd do a facial tonight, and you could all join me. This is one I don't mind. It's just a little bit too muted. So how are you all doing in these crazy times? Challenging, frustrating, annoyed? What is coming up for you? How about this one? Ooh, ooh la la. Tell me this one isn't cool. This is what we do. This is what we do when we're bored in the evening. And we are, psst, come into my realm. I may look harmless. These are fun. So this is what everybody should do, is find something that brings them joy. Happy, smiley. I don't know what's going on in my upper lip here. I love that it does my makeup for me. See, I don't have to do anything. Isn't that the best thing about filters? I'm so happy to see this. You know what? I'm just trying to be light tonight because I think, ooh, this is going to be spooky. No, we just ain't doing that one. This one's a little funky. What are those, wontons? These are fun. I know. Oh, hello. Green screen. Lover, won't you be my lover tonight? Join me in my little party. This will probably just be a green screen, right? This one's not totally bad. I don't know what goes on here. I don't know how this one works, how it's supposed to work. So I started out thinking I was going to share something that I was reading earlier from my Osho book of secrets. Let's see what this one does. Is this like the Dark Angel? It gave me high widow's peaks. Here, let's see if we can get a better filter. I can't tell if this is supposed to be a good filter. I'm going to read your comment in a second. Let's see. Come on, darlings. Because there's so many freaking filters. This is just crazy. This has got to be a good one. All right, I like this one. This one is kind of like lighthearted. You know, you might get a little annoyed of all the butterflies, but I personally adore these butterflies. They can hang out with me all day, every day. In my entire life, I welcome the butterflies and the bees and the birds. All right, so Libby's trying to get healthy, lost 9 pounds and gained some back, not cheating on diet, going to the doctor to see what's going on. Have you ever considered that maybe it's just overthinking it? Doing things that bring you joy. Like, I personally think that sometimes what we do is we self-sabotage and have this ideology of how our body is supposed to be instead of just owning and loving it where we're at. Embracing the gratitude for how, oh yeah, they do, don't they? Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Our bodies do so much, and we're so hard on ourselves up here in our minds that when we start self-criticizing, we are not accepting of how our body is, we're really rejecting it. So if we're saying, well, I'm not where I want to be, instead of recognizing that your body's doing all this magical work every single day to keep you alive, to keep your body functioning, you breathing. How crazy is it that we should be so hard on ourselves, that we negative self-talk, you know, oh, I'm not perfect. I'm not living up to these expectations, these ideologies, because that's all that really is us thinking we need to fit into this particular box. And most of it is society and cultural conditioning. So if you're being hard on yourself, I mean, that in itself is tough, because we form these opinions and things of ourselves, and we create our own suffering through it. So I don't know what just transpired, but it went from bright to dark. I don't know what just happened there. That was really unusual. Let's come closer, darling. Come closer to me. So, I've never been one for diets personally, because die is in the word diets. I've been all about like what feels right, eating intuitively, doing things to move your body. To feel good, you have to be willing to sweat, because you've got to get rid of the toxins or whatever's going on in your body and your mind. You know, it's a whole mind-body collection. It's a mind-body-soul integration, alignment. And if things aren't going on up here, and see, that's what leads to all these dis-eases. And so you have to confront what is going on in your mind that the body is telling on. Because the body is basically reflecting. It's your mirror image, body language. Listen to your body, because your body's always telling on you. Whatever's going on here, up in here, the body translates it into dis-ease, discomfort. All the stuff that we complain about in our physical bodies has everything to do with what's going on up in here. And we are the worst, our own worst inner critics. And then we've got media and advertising and everything around us that's telling us what we should or shouldn't think, or how we should behave or believe. And I mean, truly, if you stop and think about it, from the moment you're born, you're told everything. You're told everything. Nothing is original. That's humbling if you can sit with that. And that's like a huge like kapow in your face. I mean, at least that's what it was for me, when I'm like, wait a minute here. Do you realize what is yours? What is your original thought? How much of that is yours? Because even the majority of us, we wake up one day realizing we're living out someone else's story. The stories of our parents. We're rehashing old patterns, legacies. We carry those on until you wake up one morning and you say, this is not who I am. This is not me. Unless you're willing to confront and have the hard confrontation of, I am not my thoughts. I am not my beliefs. I am not my dogma. Like all that stuff up in here is what creates what's going on all in here. Our cells vibrate with our minds. It's all aligned. There is no separating one from the other. That's why it is a mind-body-soul connection. And when we are in dis-ease, you know what that really is? Is us trying to come from here instead of here. Dis-ease is ignoring our heart and soul's calling and doing the polar opposite of what it's here to do. Let's just go there, because that's what true dis-ease is. It is exactly, and this is the theme I had on my class today when I taught yoga. The theme that popped in and just started pouring out of me like it always does was pay attention to your body language. Does your head enter the room before your body does? Because if it does, it is for every inch forward of the center point, you are putting 10 pounds of pressure back here, and that shows that you are in anticipation of the future. You are not present. Bring that neck back. Bring the ears over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. Align your spine. Notice your body alignment, because your posture dictates what type of self-talk you are speaking. The body is always reflecting the mind. Body language, it's always telling on you. This is my whole life revolves around wellness. It talks, my first workshops were about body awareness, tapping into your body's language. Because you need to be present in your physical body, because the more you feel into what's coming up emotionally, mentally, emotionally, physically, the more you can tap into what's really happening in you. If you keep going outside of yourself looking for things, panaceas, ways to fix it, it's not going to go away. Just like the ball that you keep pushing down under the water, the air ball, the big round ball, it's just going to pop back up in your face. It's going to come back stronger every time. The more you try to push it down, the more powerful it will come back at you. I hope that helps. Because truly, our dis-ease is only because we're not listening to our hearts. We're all up in our heads. So if our heads are entering the room before our bodies are, that's telling us that we're in anticipation of the future. We are so not present in the moment. That our soul is being suffocated and suppressed because our mind is trying to run the show. And the mind usually gets us into trouble, doesn't it? Yeah. The mind is always telling on you. And what does it do? When the mind leads, it leads you astray. When the heart leads, it never lets you go into situations that it will support you. The only time you end up in situations that are challenging, that are harmful, that are toxic, is because you were up in here. Every single time. And you will know when your intuition, you had that feeling, the butterflies in your stomach, or you had a sensation in your body. It was telling you what was being triggered, where you need to do the work, what you need to confront and be willing to be shaken up and shifting out. Heart alignment. The heart is truly the seat of the soul. The heart and the lungs. And you know why? Because spirit is in the breath. And that if there's anything that you were to worship, to devote yourself to, it should be to your breath. Because before the word, there was the breath. And in each breath, you are inhaling source and exhaling. So every time you take in a breath, you are taking in the breath of life. That is a gift of God, of source, of oneness, of whatever you want to call it or identify it as. Because the truth is, it's where we all come from. And it's what sustains, maintains, and keeps us alive. Without the breath, and you don't even have to think about it, but the more you harness it, the more power you can gain over your own mind, and then you can master your life. And for those of you who've been watching me long enough, you know I say, master your breath, master your mind, and you will master your life. It sounds simple, but it's not as simple if you haven't been doing it. So everything's with practice, devotion, dedication, determination. It has to be a willingness to commit. And I know commitment is difficult for a lot of people because we get caught up in our routines and our patterns and our habits and, you know, what's comfortable or familiar because it's also predictable, which is what makes you so predictable. So look at your patterns. It takes at least 21 days, up to 40, to create new habits and patterns. But most people right now, with everything that's going on in the world, people are frustrated. They have animosity. They're out of alignment and out of touch with themselves, without each other, because humans in unity equals humanity. When you separate humans and they're not in unity, you are killing humanity. These are why they say humanity. Humans in unity equals humanity. We humans were not meant to be separated or isolated or whatever you want to call what's going on right now. The truth is, the more you keep us away from each other, the more we all suffer as a collective. True story. True story. Oh no, my book got wet. This is what happens when... Hey, you're not alone. Just so you know. I'm going through it too. We're all freaking human. Come on. I don't care how much work you've done on yourself. If you aren't navigating the emotions and the roller coaster ride that we can call this crazy freaking life. Yes, of course, I still have the doggy. Valerie, you weren't in here when he first started. When I first hit play, he walked over and he started lapping up his water. This is, it's a leftover from last night's smoothie. I stuck the whole glass in the freezer. It's strawberry banana. Some of my ginger bud I make fresh, just like I make my kombucha. Ginger, vanilla, a little bit of coconut oil with some THC. So, it's more like a little bit of an ice cream, to be totally honest with you. And it'll make me sleep like a baby tonight. So, as I was saying, this week I really want people to consider whatever is arising within you. There's no good or bad. And don't reject it. Even if you feel frustrated, angry, just upset with whatever. Honor it, embrace it, confront it in a loving, gentle, graceful manner. Lean into it as I say, lean into with curiosity like a child. Like, what are you here to share with me? There's a message in this. There's always a message in the pain. That's why you have pain. Because the body, it's the only way to get your attention when you have checked out of your own self, out of your own body, you've numbed it out. The pain comes screaming at you like, please, just give me your attention. In whatever form that your body speaks to you to get your attention, that's where you need to lean into it. Oh, I stay away from the crystal lights and things like that just because of the... If you follow me, I've been doing plant-based eating for a long time. Now, I'm not dogmatic about it, but I also know what causes me inflammation. The things that I cut out of my diet predominantly are the whites. Yes, I know, right? So listening to your body is like the key. So I was guided with my diet, my lifestyle, when I had a major reaction to some wheat gluten. After I just had my metal fillings, the mercury taken out of my mouth, because my body went into an extra crisis, even though I had detoxed the heavy metals. And I had a huge reaction, like literally over a weekend, I was inflamed and itchy and bloated. And then when I went to the doctor was like, oh, who's the doctor here? And I'm like, listen, everything I looked up for research says that I have to have a piece of my duodenum cut out as I'm consuming and still feeling the effects. And she didn't want to hear what I had to say. And to me, that was really sad. So I gradually got away from trusting doctors as much as I was. I started doing my own research, like most of us end up doing, because you can't rely on what people tell you. I don't care how much you trust them. You have to be willing to question everything in life. Oh, yes. In fact, sea moss, like Irish moss, like the Irish moss, which isn't necessarily sea moss. I have I've done the Irish moss for years, and it's extremely high in minerals. It's not actually from the sea, so... Oh, thank you. Wendy, this is a filter I'm playing with, believe it or not. It looks really good, doesn't it? I wish my makeup looked like this every day. I'd like to get my eyebrows are done right now. Look at that. I'm going to catch a butterfly. I'd love to have my eyebrows tattooed on. A girlfriend of mine's going to school right now, so I'm really hoping that I can... She's really, like, I could see her doing really well because she's got a good eye. So it gave me some blush. It kind of gave me a little glisten. Obviously, it gave me lashes a little bit more than my own. But it's fun. I love playing with filters, right? See, I have a creative heart nature, and there's a lot of technology that, yes, it's in distraction, and it does inspire. But then it also drains us of our essence in a lot of ways. I know that sounds really crazy. I listen to Leo King a lot, and I really resonated the other day, or he made a comment about how he doesn't feel that EMFs affect him like other people. Like, some people are super hypersensitive to technology. I've been around technology my entire life. My mother was the type of person that when she touched anything electronic, it would die, it would blow up. And it was kind of funny, but not funny. And I do believe that she was also a very strong manifester, and she would manifest it because that was her belief system. So my birthday's August 1st. I'm a Leo, very much a fire sign. And my mother was a triple Sag. And this smoothie, which is technically a frozen ice creamy thing, is bananas, strawberry, vanilla, some ginger bud, and some coconut infused CBD/THC oil for sleep. So everything that's happening right now, be patient, be kind with yourself. Know that we're all going through this together as a collective. And when I say that, we are quite literally rebirthing all of humanity. I got that message last year. I had an amazing bufo ceremony where I literally shot through all of my lives, saw where I'd been. I mean, it was a beautiful, unbelievable experience. I really treasured that gift. That we are here to rebirth humanity. And do you realize how special you are to be a part of this right now? Whatever you're going through, take a moment to recognize and acknowledge how freaking blessed you are to be here on this earth, as crazy and messy as it is right now. My sister and I were talking last night. I said, you know, it's so messy. But that's what rebirth is like. That's what it's like being in the chrysalis. This is metamorphosis for all of us on a collective level. That we are quite literally in the goo, the yucky, icky crap. Like, yeah, excuse me, it fucking sucks. But the truth of the matter is, what's on the other side is so well worth all of this. So just remember, no matter what you're going through, you're going to be okay. And we are going to come out on the other side so much better. 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, whatever D you decide to choose, whether you're going to go down or go back. The truth is, you're meant to evolve and grow. Even if you're devolving, you're growing. I mean, there's really no one direction because everything is always happening. And there may appear to be a delay or an obstruction or a challenge. But the truth is, it's probably part of the contract of your soul that said, well, we're going to experience a little bit of struggle and strife along the way. It's okay. Just, pony up and buckle up, sailor, cowboy. Tip your hat. You got this. Butterflies all around you. So I normally don't like to eat this late at night, but it's okay. It's yummy anyway. Originally, I was going to share what I was reading in this group. So I was on my other account, which I guess I could. DVD. Heart alignment. Oh, look at that. I was going to share what I was reading in this group because it was really cool. Because in the group, it was asking a question about the difference between spirituality and religion. What do you feel the difference is between spirituality and religion? Let me know in the comments and I will read some stuff off to you. Because I find it fascinating. Because spirituality and religion are not dependent on the other, technically. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read some stuff off to you because I thought it was really cool. And I sometimes like to read through comments because there's some cool things that people say. There's some pretty wise people out there and we can all learn from one another. I don't think any of us has all the answers anyway. If anything, though, if you can recognize that if I think something and you speak it, that just shows how connected we are. It's not that it's my idea or your idea. It's just the collective speaking through each and every one of us. That when you express something in a way that I myself couldn't articulate, but I felt it, I'm like going, whoa, you were able to say it in a way that I wasn't able to. That shows how connected we are. And to me, that's when I did my video. That is the appreciation in creation, that when you appreciate what someone else creates, it's because of the fact that you're recognizing what you are inside in another. You are recognizing that the other is you and that they are expressing themselves for you through them, through you for them, like vice versa. We do it for each other, but can you dive that deep into the thought of it? So I appreciate you sharing the video. Thank you. It's about a relationship with God. So it isn't about religion, and it is about a relationship with the God source, universe, whatever you subscribe to. Because I was raised Catholic, but the irony is that I have a hard time wrapping my head around this wrathful, vengeful God. I can't even say the words because it doesn't resonate or align with my soul. I have a hard time believing there is such a thing as a vengeful God. If anything, what I have come to the conclusion of for myself is I believe that we've all been led astray through religion to worship the false God. That I think that behind the scenes, that there are truths in the lies and lies in the truths, and that a lot of the teachings were adopted, a lot of the books, let's say, were written with true stories, but little lies sprinkled in to offset us. Because of course, if they gave you all the information, they wouldn't be able to control you and keep you as loyal followers. Which is really messed up, that you should manipulate anybody to keep them loyal or following you. So this is my own rub with religion. I do believe that there was Jesus and Mary Magdalene and all these different saints and people of the Bible. Now, whether or not we received all of the full truths is another story, because how could we know? We weren't there unless we travel in time. Excuse me. Unless we're that connected to our own source and self. Because that requires us to be in touch with our soul, be intuitive, introspective. Because from the time of birth, we're told what to think. We're told the stories. We're told, we witness what our parents do. We witness our environment. We are products of everything and anything that is around us and teaches and touches us. And our senses are how we take in information. So through our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our ears, and how we feel things. We are being influenced at all times. All you need is someone to engage you so strongly. This is how they manipulate and brainwash, is to get you through your senses. And if they can evoke emotion in you, listen to the sound of my voice, look into my eyes, I will captivate you and I will mesmerize you. I will make you a loyal follower, listener. That's what they do. If they can evoke, tug on your heartstrings, make you feel like you're connected, boom, poof, I can implant all sorts of concepts and ideas and beliefs and ideologies. I can get you to believe me if I do it in the right way. That is what they do. And it has been proven, it has been explained. CIA declassified documents even outline how manifestation works. There are no secrets. All the information's out there if you want to find it. Mind you, it's being scrubbed off the internet, most of it. If it's making it more difficult, they want you to find only what they want to promote as their agenda and the narrative, okay? We're just going to say that. Let's go back to what is the difference between spirituality and religion? I'm going to read off some of these because, like I said, these are good. So spirituality is finding your own truth to the universe and God without any rules. Religion is worshiping a specific God with a specific set of rules, commandments, and rituals that are not to be deviated from. Boom. I believe that that's very well spoken. This woman says spirituality is the manifestation of religion. Do you believe in that? I don't think so. And then this person retorted and said, other way around, religion is based on other people's past, spiritual experiences, connection to divine, but it has had time to be corrupted. Not saying it has, but it is possible. They allowed that to be open, and I think that's kind. Spirituality is freedom. There you go. Religion is in a fishbowl. Spirituality is in a vast ocean. And it has a picture of... Oh, and I didn't flip it. That's okay. I'll deal with that later. Anyway. Religion is written doctrine. Spirituality is conscious contact with your soul. If you are tuned in, right? Religion is man-made. Spirituality is acceptance of all life, where religion creates division from the circle of life and holds ideals to a standard of living. I like that one too. That's a good one. I think there's a difference in true mental connection, like when you're praying alone versus praying at a church. It feels so different. I don't know why this is not letting me tap. My phone's a little quirky today, it seems. It won't let me read your comment fully. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Feels so different. Yes, and it does, because one feels personal and the other is collective. And that brings me right back to when I think about yoga is about union. It's about yoking. And so yoga is kind of almost like, it could be considered a religion too. Yoga is about coming together in unity. It actually conceptualized humans in unity, humanity. And when we come in community, into unity, we are that much more powerful, which is why religion, recognizing and knowing this, has known for eons, for as long as religion has existed. As soon as they figured out, oh, we can make them loyal. We will tell them stories. We will make up stories for why things happen the way they do. And so when they do happen around us, like plagues or floods or, whatever happens in nature, we can blame it on a false god, or we can come up with a story. And this is where I really believe this is corrupted our human civilization, because I think it's uncivilized to blame some being that is intangible, but I really think it's aliens behind the scenes with technology, but that's a whole nother conversation. But religion is all about control. It's all about controlling the masses and making people loyal. So they know that when you put people together, you're that much more powerful in the mind, because the power of manifestation is about the heart coherence. And when we are community, the unity of humanity, the humans together, when we are together, and this is why yoga is so powerful, we know this, the religions know it. So when you bring people together and you get them to pray for the same thing, we all know about the power of prayer. It's no different with yoga. The more people that come together to work on themselves, to heal themselves, they are doing the powerful work that elicits the manifestation in the collective. When you come together in groups, ironic that we're being told we need to stay away from each other because we're more powerful together. This is the time we need to be in unity more than ever. I can't state that enough. We are not meant to be divided. We are not meant to be fighting with one another. We all have more in common than we have that is contrary to that. Focus on what's working. Look at your life and focus on what is working. Have gratitude for that. Write in a journal daily. You want to see your life improve? Start writing down all the things you're grateful for in your life. The simplicity of waking up in the morning to taking your first breath as you awake. The flexibility and fluidity to move your body up and out of your bed. The things you don't even have to think about. Your heart's pumping, your blood's flowing. You got butterflies all around you. You got filters to hide out all your flaws. You can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, and you can dance around and shake it all out. You can turn around. All the little things. They're simple things. Be like a child with curiosity and go, what is it I have that I don't think about, that I don't even take into consideration, that I'm so neglectful of, that I ignore the simple things. Nobody wants to be silenced. Nobody wants to be overlooked. This is just taking away people's identities, their connection, the ability to trust one another. If you can trust yourself, you'll be able to trust those around you. You'll be able to discern who you can and cannot trust, because you need to have a true deep connection with yourself to know what's going on around you. When you are tapped into your truth, nobody can knock you off your roster. This is just my personal opinion. Or is it my experience? A little bit of both. Let's read more. I once read, religion is for people afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. Yep, I've been there. You know what's funny, Libby? I personally have felt for a long time they were going to try to pull the Muslim style stuff on us, making us running around with the hijabs and the masks and all that. And I don't agree with it. Freedom of expression, freedom to move, freedom to gather, to speak. We've gotten way caught up in the manipulation. when people are telling you there's a problem, but you didn't see the problem, but you're buying into the problem, why are you focused on the problem? That makes you the problem. Do you see the problem? Just a hint. When you're so deep in the problem, you can't see yourself out of the problem, you are a part of the problem. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. If you can step back and witness what's going on in your life and where you may be easily swayed or influenced, because we're being manipulated right now more than ever. We have the most toxic, codependent, unhealthy relationship with our government. I'm just saying, we are more enslaved now than we ever were. I'm sorry, I had this awareness like a year ago when this all was going down and starting. I'm sitting here going, people think they're free, but yet they're pointing fingers and wanting to police others and actually defend their own enslavement. Scary stuff's going on in the world. I'm just saying. And you don't have to agree with me. I still honor and love you where you're at. The truth is that as humans, if we can't have a healthy debate, we can't agree to disagree, we can't honor one another, listen, and also allow ourselves to be seen and heard, and also be willing to see and hear others, this is just unhealthy communication. This is like people running around not being good humans, not trying to improve upon where they're falling short. Like, communication is the key here with everything. Just assuming that because of your color or your gender or this or that, you're a certain way, that in itself is number one, generalizing, profiling. It's disingenuine. It is not engaging. It is assuming. It makes an ass out of you and me. When you assume something about me without consoling, confronting, communicating with me, you just attack me. That says more about you than it does about me. And this is where we're at right now. People are being easily poked and provoked to act out in unhealthy ways, using coping mechanisms and survival skills that they're not necessarily kind, they're not serving, they're not graceful in their approach. They're very bully-ish. For people who claim to be anti-bullies, I see a lot of bullies running around pointing fingers and attacking people. And I'm like, whoa, you know, you get a lot more bees with honey than you do, you know, with piss. Just saying. We each have our own path back to God. Religion wants us to follow their path. There's a good one. Spirituality is about making this beautiful religion, this beautiful. It says spirituality is about making this beautiful. Religion is making this life miserable for you and others, hoping that you will get a lot of rewards after death. That was something I saw this earlier where that's actually what I was reading in the book, talking about religion, regarding how religion always promises in the afterlife that you're going to get all these wonderful gifts for acting so prudish and, you know, doing all these things that are in commandments. And you know what? What if that's all bullshit? It's not like you're going to be able to turn around and go, hey, you reneged on my contract. You didn't go along with what you claimed. That's another example of question everything you think you know. Question everything you think you know. Question everything you're told. Question what you think you believe as if you don't know. Research. Don't trust anything or anyone. Don't trust me. Go have a life experience. Use that as your litmus test. Spirituality is limitless and endless, and religion is limited and has many boundaries. Spirituality is all-encompassing. Religion is one branch on a tree covered with many leaves. Religion is for people who are afraid of hell. Spirituality is for those who have been there. 2 people said that. Religion is control. Spirituality is freedom. To be religious is to believe what other people tell you. To be spiritual is to believe something, not to believe something unless you've had an actual direct experience. When you have an experience, then you know. Believing and knowing is the difference. Religion appears to be written by other people's spiritual experiences. Spiritual experiences are individual and collective and happen at a personal level. This one guy says, I do things religiously as a spiritual being. Religions are the way to spirituality. Religion is infected, spirituality in prison. Religion is when you read a Bible and attend church, outward things. Spirituality is when you turn inward to find answers. Religion is a control system. Religion is like worshiping an idol by a certain set of rules or dogma, whereas spirituality is like a self-study course. For example, I consider ACI, A Course in Miracles, a self-study course because there is no church you have to go into in order to find God. With spirituality, you just find the God within you. People who meditate are spiritual. People who just believe in a higher power might also consider themselves spiritual as well. Others may see it differently, but that's how I look at it, in my honest opinion. God bless. In my view, spirituality is about connecting our energies to the source, which is the universe. Religion confines our energies to worship some supreme beings, and we end up drifting away from our true source, the universe. Spirituality is individualistic religion. That's a good concept too. Spiritual is from the soul. Religion is control. Ooh, I like that one. Ooh, that one got me good. Religion involves church and organized brands, i.e. Catherine, Lutheran, Judaism, Methodist, etc. Organized belief systems. To be spiritual is to be free, not confined to one specific religion, not a specific religious group or belief, but still to be God-centered, believing in the magic of the universe, astrology, and all the esoteric arts. A person can still believe in Jesus Christ and still be spiritual. Amen to that. Because he was a spiritual teacher. He was telling us all that we are children of God, that he wasn't just the Son of God, as in the one. He was one of us, one of many. I figured that out a long time ago, too. I just knew that in my heart and soul. Didn't even have to think about it. Just saying. Woo, craziness. Crazy as crazy does. I'm reading from a group. The question that somebody posted in a group was, what's the difference between spirituality and religion? So I'm going to copy paste this here. So right now, something I had written down earlier, I just want to reiterate this, how important it is, and I already just said it. But we're going through a collective rebirthing. So we're all experiencing the messiness of emotions that are like this roller coaster ride. Being in awareness and knowing this makes it easier to navigate by sitting with and confronting whatever arises within you. Honor and accept it all with love. It will move through you quicker if you are willing to be present, to sit with it instead of trying to avoid it. A few days ago, I was sitting with a sadness, a little heaviness. And I know it was a lot of the collective that I was feeling. I mean, this has been really heavy, especially in the past couple weeks, right? Especially last week, I heard more people complain about like how difficult the week was. And I'm like, yeah, I felt it. I did. I'm feeling the waves as well. I'm not immune to this. But when I sat with it and I looked in the mirror at one point, I'm like, you know what? I see you and you're doing okay. And I know it's challenging and I'm sad. I feel this heaviness. Like it really fucking sucks. this really sucks. I looked at myself in the mirror and I let out and I said, I see you and it's okay. Whenever this wants to move through, whatever this is, it's okay. I get it. I know I'm going to be able to get through this because I've been through worse. Whatever this is, it's okay. And I'm telling you that not long after that, it lifted. It went by, it flashed through so quickly. It was like it never was there. And the more you're willing to acknowledge it when it happens, just like lean into it. Like, okay, let me just sit in this shit. It sucks. That's what doing the work is all about. It's like, it doesn't feel so good. I got a soreness in my hip and yeah, I'm gonna move around, try to get that stiffness in my back out, because that's what I deal with. There's a lot of stiffness and rigidity. Can you believe that in me? I'm so flexible and fluid. I've always been about stretching and elongating the muscles because I know the importance of keeping limber and flexible. You know? Get a leg up. Put your legs up the wall. Invert your body. Look at things from a different perspective. But yes, I deal with the rigidity and the pain in my physical body. I bet you didn't think that was possible. Trust me, I have the most hyperactive mind that even just today, the things that have processed through my mind, I'm like, how about that? I can vacillate across the cosmos with concepts and ideologies and just like be in such awareness and depth and then just bring it back to a silliness. I can walk Buddy down by the waterfront and just admire the clouds. I mean, I can stare up at the clouds all freaking day. And the mesmerizing creativity and the way that they present pictures for me. Yes, you gotta, what you resist persists. It stays stronger. You perpetuate it. It's like I was saying earlier, if you're so focused on the problems, you're setting the problems in stone more. You're making them grow more. They're going to just expand more the more people who are focused on problems, which is why the people who pay attention to the mainstream and what's going on out there, they're contributing to the problem. Because where attention goes, energy flows. And even though they may not like it, they're still feeding it. You're feeding the machine the more you're giving it your attention. Even if you're just like, I got to see and I got to know what's going on. The fear of missing out causes all these problems. So the problem is that we are the problem. If we are focusing on problem, then we're not fixing it. We're not solving it. We're part of it. That's a humbling, pie to eat. Take a bite of that humble pie. Because if you're one of those people, here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity for growth. If you catch yourself so easily caught off and sucked into the problems, into the negative Nancy, versus noticing that, okay, I'm aware, but you don't let it physiologically drag you, suck you in like, I feel it in my body. This just really sucks. I hate this. I don't like it. That's a form of resistance, and it creates more of it. The more you are fixated on the dislike of it is just as much as if you did like it. That's why they say, the law of attraction. Oh yes, you should focus on what you want. But if you have something you are so against, just as strong, it's going to manifest that. That's how that law works. They just didn't fill you in on that extra part that says the thing you're not wanting, I don't want this to happen, I don't want this to happen, is actually what you're creating to happen anyway. You all know you've had at least one experience in your life that you were so worried about happening, and then it did. And you want to blame Murphy's Law, whatever, if something bad could happen, it's going to happen. That's not Murphy's Law. That's the power of your own mind. Murphy was just a scapegoat so that people didn't have to be personally accountable or responsible for their own beliefs and thoughts. I'm just saying. Murphy was a made-up figurative character so that we could all just go, look, it wasn't my fault, it was him, it was Murphy. I'm a victim of Murphy's Law. See how that works? Victimhood has been perpetuated like a badge of honor with the way the current climate is right now. You're a victim. Oh, someone else did it to me. Come on, really? Do you know I had to put my big girl panties on years ago and have to really acknowledge that I was, for example, this is a great example, me losing my job in Italy. I literally was just trying to get by, do my job, and get out, just do my, stay in my little bubble. But because I knew I was dealing with what I was dealing with, I was also creating the attraction of people to attack me. So when you're trying to avoid confrontation or you're trying to avoid being attacked, a lot of times the stronger you are in thinking, I don't want this to happen, I don't want this to happen, you're actually drawing it to you. This is unfortunate because there are a lot of us who in our past, we have a history of repeated successions of being taken advantage of or being lied to or cheated on or whatever the story is. It's because we ourselves are not changing the way we behave. We're not recognizing our own belief systems, how we're not trusting the instinct within us that says, hey, this is a flag again. We've been here before. How many times am I going to have to raise the flag in my intuition, but you're not paying attention to it? I mean, it really is personal accountability for whether or not you're responding to what's going on within you, body language. Like your body's always telling on you, and it's always giving you signs around you. Because energy is more easily felt than what someone says. Good example. You're with somebody you've known all your life. And they have a certain history of how they behave around you. And maybe they make promises that they never follow through with. You've known this person all your life. Their patterns haven't changed. They've always shown you who they are, despite what they say. They tell you one thing and do another. As a result, there's some part in your heart that says, oh, but they're such a good person. I just know it. I believe in them. They're good people. I want the best for them because inside of you, you would want them to feel the same about you. Because there was someone in your childhood, maybe that person is the person, that they promised and you were like always let down, always rejected or abandoned. And you're hoping that they're going to fulfill the promises they made. But even in the past, they've shown you they can't follow through. And as a result, they let you down, they let you down, they let you down. Physiologically, energetically, you feel that. You know it's coming. Your mind is the one that leads you astray in believing and constantly leaning in, wanting to trust. You're not listening to your heart and soul and the vibratory energies that are fluctuating around the situation. You are still holding out for them to do the right thing. And that's a Pollyanna approach. That is a dystopia. Having the ideology, the belief, the want, wish, or desire that they're going to behave a certain way does not make them do that, nor does it guarantee they ever will. Holding out for someone to do the right thing when they've constantly proven they don't and can't is not their problem. That's yours. And that's the humble pie that really sucks because right now, just look at what's going on. And there are a lot of people in that paradigm and that old toxic pattern, and they don't realize it. They're seeing the same people who have promised one thing and lied about the promises and not delivered or followed through in their behaviors or their actions. And yet they're defending them when all they've done, these people have proven themselves. Nobody needs to defend them. They have shown you who they are and what they're about. Stop defending the lies. The only person you're lying to is yourself. That person has shown you their truth and you're still not accepting it. If you feel that sinking or the sensations, it could be that, the heat around your head and your neck. That could be one indicator. It could be the sinking in your belly or the heart. Like, trust your intuition. Your body will tell you. But you have to be willing to tap into it and listen. Recognize the signs. Religion is a tool. Spirituality is the destination. I'm a mystic Christian, very spiritual. Spirituality is a solution. Religion is a death sentence. Spirituality is a connection to the divine. Religion is a crowd control. Truth be told. Religion is a business selling afterlives. No warranty, no returns. Spirituality is an inside job. See, isn't that what I just said? You know, religious, you know, they're selling you. They're trying to... Isn't that what's really messed up? If you really look at everything that's going on in the world, whatever's ever happened in this life, that they've always been trying to sell something to you, and it's all deceptive. Can we all agree that we've been sold the lies, and that we just keep on thinking that it's okay and nobody's holding anybody accountable to the lies? I mean, seriously, spirituality doesn't do that. It's just a feeling, an experience. It's a tapping into your heart and soul. Religion, it's about selling the afterlife. It's about, if you're a good human, which most people aren't even doing that much, they're really hard on themselves. They're going along to get along, you know, whatever. That you can have this afterlife. Like, why can't you have that now? What is this trial and error thing in the human existence? That doesn't make sense now, does it? It's absurdity to the highest degree. Religion is organized. Spirituality is not. Religion is believing in somebody else's experience. Spirituality is experiencing yourself. I love that one. Spirituality is a way of living and treating others. Religion is a fixed idea. One you are born with, one is taught to you. This is a wonderful question, though. The fact that you ask, and it is enough to propel you on the spiritual journey. That's what somebody said. Spirituality is substance. Religion is outer form, often without the inner substance. Ooh. Mic drop. They are far apart. Spirituality is your connection with God, source, universe. Religion is a set of beliefs and is organized. I believe you can be one without the other and also be both. Although my personal experience is the more you deepen your spirituality, the further you may become from believing in a set religion. Hi Karen. The butterflies are a filter, and I'm just playing tonight. And I'm really enjoying playing with the butterflies. It's also symbolic to my mom. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and just see how everyone's doing. I kind of fought off I've been wanting to come live. Maybe it was part of my perfectionism. Perfect timing. You know, social media is acting kind of wishy-washy lately. Algorithms, nothing's jiving. I'm playing on Clapper a lot. I really, really enjoy Clapper. It's not as robust as TikTok. Y'all know that my TikTok kind of got taken down for something that they didn't even send to me. You know, I have a problem with these different TOSs, terms of service, guidelines, all that stuff. It's almost like a scapegoat to deny service. It's no different than, you know, to claim one thing but yet not reinforce it. Like, it's very selective, and it's looking like it's going to open up a huge can of worms. Let's say Pandora's box is going to get open in a hard way. This is a smoothie from the other night. Essentially, the problem we're facing right now is that when you censor one person, you censor everyone. You can't just say you don't want to hear certain things. I mean, this is where the big brother syndrome comes in, and you have to stop and consider this. Of course, you don't hear that people saying this very often, do you? Whenever someone is speaking something you don't want to hear, you have to ask yourself, what is wrong with what they're saying that you're judging it and denying it and rejecting it? Like, there's always something there for us to listen deeper into. And if you're offended immediately, it's just because, number one, it may not be about you, but you're making it about you. The moment you take offense to something, it means you made it personal. Doesn't mean it was. But the fact that you made it personal, you made it about yourself, not necessarily the individual who may appear as a messenger or what have you. So stop and wrap your head around that for a moment. Whenever someone offends you, you are handing over your power. They do not offend you. You make what they say personal about yourself. Hence, you are the one who makes it about you, not the other person. Please take that to heart. That is a hard truth for tonight. Whenever you take offense to what someone says, you are making it about you, not the other person. Sit with that, ruminate, ruffle around. If it's uncomfortable, there's a reason it's uncomfortable. It's because nobody wants to be held accountable for what somebody else says. When in reality, the only reason you're not taking personal responsibility is because you're playing the victim and you're handing your power over to somebody else. That is not your personal power. That is actually your disempowerment. That's giving away your power to what someone else says. And it may have nothing to do with you, but because you make it personal, you make it about you, not the other person. And the problem we have going on in the world right now is that we're being told, you should be offended because of this. Whoa, you're being told what to be offended about. You're being told to make it personable. You're being told to make it personal about you, even though it has nothing to do with you. Don't buy into it. It's a trick. I'm just saying. So essentially, my situation, I was told I violated something that said something about integrity and authenticity, and I'm like, whoa. See, the thing about legality, in this country, everyone has the right to confront their accuser. If you're not given the right to confront your accuser, then you're not being given due process. That is not justice, and that's illegal. If you claim you accuse me of something, I have the right to ask for proof and to confront you about it. If you say I violated some services or some guidelines or whatever, out of good faith, I'd like to believe that you're going to present to me what it is you claim so that I can either self-correct or maybe understand or learn to grow, evolve. That's how we humans work. If you leave me hanging, you have stonewalled me. See, I can't see you. You stonewall me. You're doing the injustice. Now, I'm not going to play the victim. Although in the situation, many people will feel they're victimized because that's the truth. You are being targeted. In this case, I feel I'm being targeted. I feel I'm being discriminated against, and I don't even know what from. Because there's a lot of kids, a lot of trolls running around that will report you just because they get off on trying to see who they can get banned or denied or deleted. They do that type of stuff. But the truth is that you should be able to confront your accuser, and they should provide you evidence. Now, with that said, I have been writing and reporting and requesting they reinstate my account because anyone could look at my account and see that I didn't violate anything. I didn't do anything wrong. I've never had a video pulled down. I've never been warned. I was in the middle of a live when I had someone come in and say, your account's banned. I'm like, what? And as soon as I was done with my live, it kicked me out. With that said, again, my latest response to them was, you are claiming I have violated something that you're not presenting any facts to me. You can't do that. That's bad business. And it's very passive aggressive. To accuse someone of something and not present evidence, facts, and to basically steal it, because that's what they do. They steal your content. They steal your content so that you yourself don't have any clue what it is they're claiming or even using as evidence against you. So not only do they steal your content, steal from you, your life, and all your hard work, it's your life, but they also deny and tell you one thing, but not actually give you the evidence of what that is. Like, you can't even see what it is they're talking about because they're not willing to show it to you. And there is no computer system that can scan everything and be, like, it's just stupid. So confront your accusers. Have the courage. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. On that note, I hope you all enjoyed this video. This has been funny. Funny with some butterflies. I've enjoyed doing this. I'm grateful I did. Get sweet dreams. Know that everything's going to be okay. And that when you're in these moments of emotional upset and turmoil, lean in, look in the mirror, give yourself some attention. Feel whatever's coming up. Because the more you're willing to sit with it and feel into it and lean into the discomfort, it's going to present you with the opportunity to feel the comfort too. Because in order to get to the comfort, you have to go through the discomfort. If you're feeling uneasy, just be willing to sit with it. It's okay. It's not going to kill you. This isn't life or death. It's just a sensation. And you know where these sensations come from? They all originate in the mind. Feelings aren't really feelings. They're just triggers that come up from here. And the body responds to this. So when we talk about feeling emotions, just know it's just a response in the body, a physiological response in the body to whatever's going on up in the mind. It's not what we think it is. So go to bed, have sweet dreams, and contemplate. What would happen if you were just to play dead in your bed? Allow yourself to totally surrender to a lifeless, limp body. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to do a video with this really cool passage I was reading through from Osho's book of secrets. It is called Imagine Yourself Losing All Energy. And it's kind of a little guided, so I may do a guided meditation. I love you all. Get sweet dreams. And imagine all the possibilities.